In a cosy little cottage tucked at the edge of a misty English village, there hung an old kitchen towel named Elara. Once upon a time, Elara had been a proud, bright scarlet towel, soft, strong, and full of life. She had been gifted to Mrs. Bennet as part of her wedding dowry, neatly folded and tied with a satin bow. But years had passed. Elara had been washed, scrubbed, and squeezed until her bold red colour faded into a soft, patchy pink. Her edges were frayed, and a little tear near one corner had been mended twice by Mrs. Bennet's careful hands. Now Elara hung quietly on her brass hook beside the old porcelain sink, overlooking the heart of the house, the kitchen. Every day she watched the cheerful chaos unfold, the kettle whistling, the children chasing each other with crumbs in their hands, the family cat, Marmalade, curled lazily on the windowsill. Elara loved her kitchen. It was warm, busy, and alive, but lately she felt invisible. The Bennets had recently bought a new set of kitchen towels from the high street shop in town. They were colourful and crisp, smelling faintly of lavender soap. There was Sunny, a bright yellow towel with white stripes who always boasted about being brand new and quick drying. Then there was Pearl, a silky white one with embroidered edges. She only ever touched clean dishes. And lastly, Bobby Blue, who loved to show off his shiny tag that read 100% pure cotton. The three new towels sat proudly on the rack by the stove, whispering among themselves. "Look at poor Elara," Sunny said with a snicker. "She's so faded. Imagine being that colour." Pearl sighed dramatically. "She's positively ancient. I bet she's never seen a washing machine in her life." Bobby Blue chuckled. "I heard she's only used for the messy jobs. Spills mud and sticky jam. How dreadful!" Elara pretended not to hear, but deep down their words stung. She remembered when she was the towel everyone reached for first, the one Mrs. Bennet trusted for every job, from polishing teapots to drying the children's faces after bath time. Now she was mostly forgotten. Sometimes she was used to mop up tea spills or wipe muddy boot prints. Other times she was tossed on the floor, forgotten under the sink, or pushed aside for something newer and cleaner. Still, she hung on her hook faithfully every day, quietly waiting, quietly hoping. One Thursday afternoon, dark clouds rolled across the English sky. The wind whistled through the trees, rattling the windows of the Bennet cottage. The rain came down in sheets, pattering against the glass like 1,000 tiny drummers. Inside, Mrs. Bennet and the children were baking scones. The smell of butter and sugar filled the air as the oven ticked gently. Then, bang! The kitchen window, left slightly ajar, swung open with a gust of wind. A glass of blackcurrant juice on the counter wobbled, tipped, and crashed to the floor. Purple juice splattered everywhere, across the tiles, the cupboards, and even the dog's paws. Shards of glass sparkled in the sticky puddle. "Oh, heavens!" cried Mrs. Bennet, leaping back. "The juice, the floor, it's everywhere." The children gasped, the dog barked, the new towels all froze on their rack. Sunny squeaked, "Don't even think about it. I'm too new for stains." Pearl fluffed her corners. "Not my job. I only dry fine china." And Bobby Blue whispered, "Glass? No, thank you." Mrs. Bennet looked around frantically, and her eyes landed on the old towel hanging patiently by the sink. "Elara!" she exclaimed, her voice urgent but kind. "Come on, old girl, you've got this." For the first time in ages, Elara was lifted from her hook, not roughly, but firmly, with purpose. Mrs. Bennet plunged Elara straight into the mess. The towel didn't hesitate. She soaked up the dark juice, mopped around the sharp glass, and wiped until the tiles gleamed once more. Her faded threads absorbed every drop of stickiness and caught even the tiniest shards that glimmered in the light. Her corners ached, her fabric felt heavy, but she didn't mind. As the chaos settled, Mrs. Bennet stood back, hands on her hips, and looked down at the soaked towel in her hand. Elara was completely purple now, dripping and stained, but the floor sparkled. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Bye.